By now, you should have access to the Djj database that we have sent out, and it is coming to that time for us to input our information into the database. And we wanted to give you the opportunity to be able to review and go over and know what each component in each section means. And so the purpose of this tool is not only to be used to be in compliance with the Title I Part D grant, but it is another system to evaluate and assess the students we serve and what strategies and efforts we are using to maximize the data. You will see some blacked out areas under your tab, and that is going to be information that you do not need to worry about. If you see NA, that is also going to be an area that you will not need to fill out as well. On my first screen, you'll see this is the overall master. This tab right here is going to be only for read and view purposes only. You will not have you will not need to put any information into the overall master. The overall master gives you a snapshot of the entire program and will be derived by data that you input for your site. So we're going to move on and go to the next tab. You will see everybody's tab at the bottom corner. You'll see JDC. You'll see some programs there that you may not know. Just please go to your site only. And if we were to click on JDC and scroll all the way to the top, you will see that this is going to be just for JDC, but every information is the same on each tab. So I'm going to turn it over to Steve, so Steve can share out what some of these sections mean and what you are going to be responsible for filling in.
Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Let's look at the first piece of information you're going to be putting into the database. This is your total school enrollment. Pretty straightforward. You're just going to put in the number of students you have in your program at each grade level, and I'll put in some fictitious data here, and you'll notice that the formulas automatically calculate percentages and totals for you, so you're going to be doing that for each quarter. Again, pretty straightforward. Okay, the next piece of information is going to be reading performance data. This is your STAR pre and post test data. Now, for first quarter, you're not going to have to put that data in there because it's not applicable at this point. But I'm going to go over what the different categories here involve, just so that you can use this at a later date. A negative grade level change, that means they're below grade level. They're reading below grade level. No grade level change, that means they're on grade level. Improvement up to 1 full grade level means they're up to 1 full grade above level, just like it says. And then improvement of more than 1 grade level, that means they're more than 1 year ahead in reading. Pretty straightforward. So again, you'll just put that data in here, but again, on your tab, it should say NA for quarter 1. So you're not going to put that for quarter 1. You'll start there with quarter 2. Moving down to math, same thing as reading. You're not going to be putting data in for first quarter, but the categories are the same: negative grade level change, no grade level change, improvement up to 1 full grade level, and improvement of more than 1 grade level. Okay, moving on to science. Okay, science is a little different. Okay, first thing you're going to put in is total students enrolled in science courses / credits. Okay, now at this, you're going to put in the total number of students that are taking science. Now, if by chance you have a student who is taking 2 science courses, you're going to count them twice. And then underneath there, you're just going to put in the number of students earning an F or a D. And then here you're going to put the number of students earning an A, B, or C. Now the numbers in row 30 and 31 should add up to the number that you put in 29. Okay, now we're going to move on to high school credit recovery, and I'm going to pass it on over to Crystal.
Okay, we're going to get started on the high school credit recovery portion. You should be on line 32. This is going to be any student that is enrolled in your APEX high school credit recovery program. Line 33 is the total number of students that are enrolled in credit recovery. Line 34 is going to tell you how many students have completed a credit recovery course. So those numbers may be different. They may not match up. So you may have, for example, 3 students in credit recovery and only 1 student has completed a credit recovery course. So we definitely want to make sure that we reflect that type of information. It is okay if the information is different. Some of our sites do serve middle school, and so that looks a little bit different. Middle school is referred to as course recovery. The difference between credit recovery and course recovery is in APEX high school students, they receive credits, and in middle school, credits are not received, but they recover courses. So those are going to be your differences in the type of recovery programs. So for line 36, enrolled in a course recovery course, it's going to be the same thing. You're going to put the total students that are enrolled in middle school that are taking middle school course recovery. And for line 37, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to total the amount of students that have completed course recovery courses for middle school. Moving down into the academic and vocational outcomes. This is also going to be the students who earned high school course credits. Please keep in mind that when you are also calculating the high school credit recovery portion, the total students that have completed your credit recovery should also go into line 39. So you will also not only be counting the students that may have earned for semester credits, but you're also going to count in that you may have some students that earned credit from the credit recovery program, and you want to reflect those numbers for quarter 1 as well. Line 40 is students who earned a high school diploma. You may have early graduates that you may need to calculate. This is just a standard high school diploma. It could be the 18 credit option or just the 24 credit option. That's where we would notate the students that have earned. If you do not have any students that have earned a high school diploma, you will reflect that as a 0. For line 41, students who took a GED via the waiver and voucher. Now these are going to probably be more specific to our students who are affiliated with the Department of Juvenile Justice. These are students who are opting to take the GED exam, and I actually am the one that provides the GED voucher for those students, and we do an underage waiver to the state. So any student who has took the GED and has worked with me and I've provided you with the GED voucher, that is where you will reflect that information in line 41. If you have students who have earned the state of Florida diploma through the GED, meaning that they took the GED at James Irvin Adult Education Center, at Marchman Technical Adult Education Center, that's where you would want to reflect that the student earned the GED through that program on line 42. Starting on line 43, the anticipated to enroll in post-secondary education. This column is going to reflect students that have the anticipation in enrolling in post-secondary education. So any students that have graduated or are working towards going to post-secondary education, we would want to reflect those numbers in line 43. Line 44 is enrolled in post-secondary education / dual enrollment as well. Some of your students may be taking dual enrollment classes at your high schools, but we also have some students at our residential facility that are taking college classes as well. So we want to reflect that information in line 44 as well. So, and then you have line 45, students who have obtained employment. This is to be considered for students who have entered your program who are employed and students who exit your program that are employed. So you want to capture and reflect all students who have obtained employment from start to finish. We have moving down, we're going to move down to our career component program. That's the Ready to Work program, any leadership classes. For line 47, you want to refer to any career or school completion agencies that you have referred your students to. This could be any of your students that may be referred to Marchman Technical College to get any kind of industry certifications. This may be referring to some of our students who are in a Serve Safe program that we have referred them to a career program. Line 48 is going to be the participation in a career and school completion program. So these are any of your students who are actively enrolled in any kind of career component programs. Participating in job training courses for line 49. You also want to reflect those numbers in there. And line 50 are any students that have completed a job training course and or industry certification. So if we have some girls that are in the Serve Safe program and you are reflecting the enrollment number for line 48, the students that are participating in that program, and then line 50 means the students that have completed the job training courses. So either some of those numbers might be different depending on what you have and how many students are enrolled in your program. So you'll reflect those numbers for quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, and quarter 4. If it does not apply to you, go ahead and put 0. Moving on to the parent involvement. For each tab, it is going to be different. So for example, the page that we're on is for Central Pasco Girls Academy. SAISs for Pasco High School are going to have different type of parent involvement events. So Central Pasco Girls Academy is a residential facility, and so their parent involvement days look like Family Day, art, dance. They have the fire department, graduation ceremony, versus at a traditional high school such as Pasco High School and River Ridge, you might have parent night, college night, curriculum night, phone contacts, parent conferences. So it's going to vary per school and per your tab. So if you could please enter in the number of events that you have had and the event name that pertains to your school, and enter those numbers in so that it can be calculated. That would be great. Moving on to line 63, which is the ESC tab. Some of you will see information to be completed by a specific person. So there are specific people that are designated to specific areas on here. And so there may be some areas that you will just need to read the tab. And if it's not applicable to you or your name's not, the names it'll show you who is responsible for that. So for example, the ESE column, we have somebody that is designated to be inputting that information for the ESE students and referred to Voc Rehab, referred to it for a work evaluation. That information will be completed by that person. Specifically on line 69 for transition, there are some DJJ sites that I will be responsible for, and so you may see my name on some of the tabs that says transition, and it'll say DJJ Crystal only or for Crystal. And so I will be responsible for the DJJ sites. I will specifically put those numbers in pertaining to DJJ kiddos. When you scroll down, you may see a blacked out area. But if I'm going to change tabs for a second, because I'm going to go to SAISs of Pasco High School, and I'm just going to scroll down, and it's not the tab I wanted.
Go to
Schwetman.
Yeah.
Going to go to Schwetman, going to a new tab, and I just wanted to show you that you will see the ESC section. That will be completed by Schwetman. There is not a specific name on there, so whoever is the person that's designated to fill out this information for Schwetman will also fill out the ESC portion. If you do see a name, then that is not pertaining to you. If you scroll down, you'll see a blacked out area, but then you'll also continue to go down and you'll see transition at risk. So this is going to be Schwetman, Irvin, ACP are going to complete the transition at risk portion. Those are our at risk programs. They're not our DJJ sites. So the people that are going to be filling out for Schwetman, for Irvin, and for ACB, that person is responsible for putting in transition at risk, since that is an at risk program. And so you will put that information in. That formula will calculate to our overall master, and there's two separate screens now, two separate sections that are going to delineate between transition DJJ completed by Crystal and transition at risk to be completed by the at-risk programs. If you have any questions about that, we'll just encourage you guys to reach out to us and we will help walk you through that. And I'm going to go back. So you will see the satellite program as well. This is pertaining to Schwetman and Irvin only. So you may see some tabs. There's certain criteria that's going to be completed by certain sites. So we do have that information delineated by site only. So if it does not pertain to you, please do not fill in any information there. Okay, that should complete our podcast. Steve and I are very excited to be working with everybody. And if you have any questions or concerns or need help gaining access, please feel free to reach out to us. If you have questions about your cells, or there is a question about something not totaling or adding up correctly, we ask that you please do not make any changes to any tab and that you reach out to us first, and Steve will be the one to help assist with the formulas. Again, we look forward to working with you, and have a great year.